But if you day one summon, you may end up in a situation of either spending money that you don't have. See, the money just went on the floor. Okay, I gotta go pick up my money. It's not arcade tokens. Let's go through it. That means that you guys need to behave in chat. And I better not see some really ridiculous copy pastas. That's fine. You can make your YouTube, please put Odin is a good unit in chat. I know what you guys do. Okay, I'm watching you chat. Behave. So, welcome to today's impressions on the new bridal banner coming out in a few days. It's time to give ourselves some good impressions, maybe some bad impressions for what's coming up. Hopefully I can give you guys some good advice on what to do. I'm going to be pausing it throughout so I can talk about everything little by little with some opinions here and there and some facts as well. Bright-eyed bride.
I hope to live in a world where humans and dragons can be joined together.
Okay, Ninian. So, blue tome flyer, but I do know she's dancing, so that makes it kind of unique. It means we have another ranged dancer. And if you've looked at Shigure and Inigo, you'll know that Shigure and Inigo have some really low BST. So if she follows that same pattern, well, she's going to be really low BST and not very good for your arena core teams. However, she will be really good for your flyer emblem teams and for arena assault, because having dancers and squad assault as well is going to be really useful for that. I like the art a lot. It does look a little different. I've never seen this sort of art in Fire Emblem Heroes so far. So yeah, I'm pretty impressed with it. I think out of the bridal banners units that we have coming up, this might be my favorite one. I'll reserve my opinion until I see all three for good, but I think I like this one a lot. Personal opinion on that. Yeah. As for Blue Tome Flyer, the only competition for that would be technically Female Morgan and Summer Corin, but they are different in their roles, and this is a dancer, so she stands out as unique here. Okay, so we have an inheritable weapon, and this inheritable weapon is actually a lot different than what we've had so far in the game. I like that you can put this on other blue tomes and make them supportive. It's essentially just Hone Speed 3 on whoever holds the weapon. It's also likely to be refinable because of the plus. So you can do some really cool things here if you want to make like a blue tome unit very supportive that isn't Ninian. It's going to be a very good, option. We already have drive speed available on Tail 2 at 4-star, so that doesn't matter too much. But chill attack, this is the first time we're seeing chill attack, so that's really good. She's going to be some really good inheritable fodder. Another thing that we've noticed here is actually that the Fresh Bouquet does actually give speed to herself. That's really good for a dancer, actually. So this weapon for herself is going to be really good. You give her you just let her keep this weapon, change out her C skill for Hone, not Hone, but let's say Hone attack. If you go for a mixed team, you'll be giving speed and attack right away. But if you give her 4 to 5 flyers, you could potentially buff up another flyer by 6 defense, 6 res, and 4 speed, which is really good just by using her alone. So there's some really good supportive options here, on top of keeping chill attack so you can debuff the enemy team. I really like the potential of Ninian without having to do too much investment here. So yeah, really good role.
This outfit adjusts for the festival.
All right. I'm gonna give my opinion on this. Let me just clear up the air here. This is not a bridal outfit for a little girl, okay? This is a flower girl. She's a young girl with a bouquet, okay? That's what I see. I don't know why anyone else would think any different here, okay? As for the actual role of the character, it's a green tome flyer. Not a dancer though. So that's going to be interesting because we know that the only other competition for that is Spring Camilla, and Spring Camilla doesn't have that much resistance or good speed. I predict that Sanaki here might actually have good speed and definitely good resistance. She's always had good resistance in the games she's been a part of, including Fire Emblem Heroes on her Red Mage version. Yeah, that's gonna make her definitely a lot different playstyle than Spring Camilla, but I don't think she's gonna like necessarily power creep Spring Camilla. Spring Camilla is still gonna be very good with Raven builds and still very good with close counter builds, where I don't think Sanaki here is gonna be able to compete with that. However, for Blade Mage builds, yeah, Sanaki's gonna probably be a little bit better than Spring Camilla. Now, if you already have like a Spring Camilla, especially one that's plus speed, I don't see why you would need Sanaki, because you might end up not getting the right IVs and yeah, I mean, it's not ideal. So if you already have like a Blade Mage Flyer, or even like a Mage Flyer in general, I don't think Snaki's going to be that useful to you. Even if you have like Hanoka, you have Kagero, you have Summer Korin, a female Morgan maybe with plus speed, maybe a couple merges, or if you have Halloween Noe, even a Spring Camilla with plus speed, I just don't see you needing this Sanaki. She's not going to do anything that unique compared to what we already have as options.
Any weird ideas?
A legendary weapon on her weapon, which actually happens to be a owl tome. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. It does cap out at 6 stats, just like every single type of owl tome. The attack 3 though on an owl tome does make it better than an owl tome, and it has 14 might, so it is really powerful. Also, it doesn't have as much requirements as a regular owl tome. It's within 2 spaces, so this weapon isn't bad by any means. If she ends up being a better Blade Mage, then yeah, you're gonna probably want to give her a Ground Blade tome, but her default weapon's also very good, especially if you combine it with like attack res bond and, you know, just surround her with flyers, which is not that hard. With flyers having such good mobility, she'd probably be really good on the enemy phase, you know, for baiting out mages, or even archers if you give her like IO shield or something. I see a lot of good potential builds with Sanaki that doesn't require high investment like blades. So yeah, that's really good. This skill though is very unique and very new. I like the potential it can bring, because normally when you use these sort of skills, Luminescence, like reposition, shifts, pivots, smite in general, I like smite. I know this is going to include smite. So if you actually like smite your ally, they're going to get a bunch of buffs. And one of the biggest problems with using smite is you overextend the unit you use it on. But if you're buffing them with defense and resistance, which is actually what I like, those are the stats you would want to smite a unit with. You could like smite in one of your tanky units and just go crazy. Like they just enemy phase sweep a lot of things. Like, could you imagine female Grima, you know, getting, let's say she gets home flyers, but she doesn't get like 4 to 5 flyers on a turn. You smite her with Sanaki using defense resistance link, you just throw her into the enemy team. And she could probably sweep the whole enemy team, especially with expiration and all these stats. So I kind of like where that potential lies. Of course, using like reposition has sort of the same effect, but smite is a little bit safer in some scenarios. So I think the plays with these are really cool. Cool animation as well.
Dressed up like some happy bride.
Okay, a lot of people predicted this. Yeah, and we had what Ninian also predicted in those silhouettes. I personally like Tharja. I don't know why they've done this in Heroes, where she's become like a fan servicey character, but Tharja was pretty cool in Awakening. She had her book like in front of her too. It was, I don't know what they've done to Tharja, but the character herself isn't that bad when you actually look into the backstory and support conversations in Awakening. Nonetheless, we have another Red Tome Infantry Tharja, which is the same as her base version. So I don't know what new things she's going to bring to this. Red Mage Tome users aren't that common in the summoning pool. You pretty much only have Tharja herself, regular Tharja, Male Morgan, Ray. I mean summonable below 5 stars, that is. And of course, if you consider the 5-star exclusives or Grand Hero battle units, you do have a lot of options. But other than that, you don't really have that many options. So yeah, that's, you know, I don't know what she's going to bring new to it, but we'll take a look at the skills to confirm it for sure, especially when you consider something like merges. Like even if she does have better stats than the original Tharja, there's not much you're going to do here. Okay, so you have a similar kind of, similar kind of Alotome as Sanaki did, except this one's more aggressive. You got the speed 3, you got the attack speed for within 2 spaces, so it's fairly easy to use, especially combined with attack speed bond. This will make her a really good enemy phase unit, and that's fine. I think that is what will set her apart from the other Red Tome users. Which means that even if her stats do end up being really good, like high attack and high speed, I still don't think that switching her weapon over to Aurora Blade would be the best plan, just because her weapon is legendary, she has that attack speed bond, and you can just use her strictly as an enemy phase unit. The curious part is, will she actually have high res? Because most Tharja builds do not, other than Winter Tharja, but that's because she's armor. At least this isn't a bridal armor outfit, right? The cool thing to see here is actually the B skill, which is Speed Feint, and that has some pretty interesting applications. So instead of using movement assist skills, it's actually rally assist skills, and the rally assist skills here will inflict minus speed on units in cardinal directions. I think this will be really powerful in the hands of AI, because a lot of people won't be able to predict this sort of play. Well, they will once they get used to it, but at least initially, if you fight this in arena, you're going to be like, your unit's in front, and then the unit ends up just like rallying, and then all of a sudden you just got debuffed by 7 speed, the unit comes and approaches and attacks you, right? Because the unit will choose to rally if it's in range of you, like it's in range of whatever it's rallying will want to attack you as long as it's in range. And if you didn't calculate the speed difference properly, that could totally blindside you and end up costing you a match. So I think in the hands of AI, this is going to be really powerful. I don't think it's necessarily the best skill in the B slot, because they're starting to get a lot of supportive skills in the Bs. Like we're starting to get chill attacks, chill speeds, chill defense, chill res. There's Wings of Mercy, there's Escape Route, but I mean, Escape Route's a little different, but there's a lot of supportive skills now in the B slot, and competing for that in a player's hands might not be ideal, but I guess if you're putting this on an arena defense team, then yeah, it's going to be pretty funny. I think some people will get blindsided from it, including myself. Definitely has some arena defense implications. She's definitely going to have high attack and high speed. There he was, guys. The man himself has finally arrived. Everyone's great Marth alt skin. What's interesting here is you have an Awakening character, a Path of Radiance character, an FE7 character, and I guess like an FE1, FE3, FE like 11, or whatever Mystery Emblem character. So yeah, finally we got that green axe Cav Marth, which is a good place to put him actually, because there isn't a lot of competition for green axe Cav. You pretty much have Titania, Frederick, Bulge Fawns, Gunter, I think. There's not much competition there, so he's likely to be really good, probably no matter what his stat spread is. And he'll probably be the Tempest Trials reward, which is awesome. So I'm definitely looking forward to him. Okay, here's the most important part that we need to talk about, guys. Real talk right now. This lasts 1 month. Okay, it lasts 1 month and the banner's available in 2 days. Real talk right now, please don't summon first day. Please don't summon first day. If you summon first day, you may end up in a situation of regret, because there is, as I've told you guys many times, the upcoming legendary banner will be huge. And the reason it's going to be huge is because we have exhausted all the seasonals up until the winter units and the New Year's units. That means the coming legendary banners are going to have some really high quality units on it. We're going to have, Winter Chrom, Winter Lisa, Winter Robin, and Winter Tharja coming up, and that's insane. Like we have Close Counter, Vengeful Fighter, Bold Fighter, Brazen Attack, Defense, Brazen Attack, Speed, Handbells, Sack of Gifts, Tannin Boom, and Candelabra, which are like great weapons, great skills, and if you're looking to expand your horizon when it comes to either Arena Assault or your main core arena teams need those sort of skills, which if you use any sort of armor, which if you care about arenas, arena rankings, and rewards, you probably need some of these skills. This banner lasts a month, guys. This bridal banner, you have a long time to decide between Legendary Banner and the new units coming out on June 8th. We have a lot of things listed on that event schedule that says new heroes maps, special maps, a bunch of events, new powers, a lot of things are happening on June 8th. And since I've done a bit of research on this, I've noticed that if a Fed channel does get announced, which it might, let's say on June 1st, or like right after Legendary Banner gets released, there would be a 1 week gap between a Fed channel and maybe announcing Choose Your Legends too. It could happen. They could end up doing that, okay? If they have a Choose Your Legends thing strictly dedicated, like a Fed channel strictly dedicated to, you know, Choose Your Legends, you know, there might be a lot of people in a state of regret. Remember, even with Legendary Banner, at least giving yourself the option of deciding between this banner and the next one with the Legendary Banner could be huge, because a Legendary Banner lasts 4 to 5 days. And if you end up spending 100 plus orbs on this Bridal Banner here, that's 100 less orbs you may not decide to use, like you may not have the option of using on a Legendary Banner. You know, once Legendary Banner expires, once the new heroes are announced on June 8th, and you see those things, then you can say, oh, you know what? I want Sanaki now. Oh, I want Tharja now. Oh, I want Ninian now. Then go for it. That's your time to decide that you should be summoning here. But if you day one summon, you may end up in a situation of either spending money that you don't have. See, the money just went on the floor. This is what happens. The Bridal Banner's a bait. Feels bad, man. Okay, seriously though, if you really like the units, just give yourself some time and summon for them at the end of the banner time, like at the end of the month. I personally may even summon for like Ninian or Sanaki, or maybe even Tharja. I don't know yet. I like the units, I really do. If you're considering them between these units now and the Legendary Banner that comes out in the future, your choices are really limited. It's better to snipe for them on their debut banner here. There's better odds, mathematically speaking, than there is for you to wait a couple months on Legendary Banner, where they're sharing focus with 11 other focus units. And that means there's less of a chance of you getting the unit you want. You'll spend more orbs getting Ninian on the banner she shows up on the Legendary than you would right now. But that doesn't mean summon day one. That means consider your options, make a very good educated guess and decision on what you should do between, you know, now and later. Okay, guys? Thanks for watching. Peace.